What's going on, everybody? Welcome in to Blazers Uprise Live. Today, we got picks against the spread. Then we'll preview the Blazers' two-game road trip they have coming up against the Clippers and the Jazz. We'll also talk a little bit about TJ Leaf. The Blazers made a two-way signing today. After Jason Quick said the Blazers were not going to make a two-way signing, it turns out they did. And it's a pretty bad big man. It's not anything to write home about, but at least they used it, I guess. I don't know. We'll give our thoughts on that in a little bit. But anyway, thank you for tuning in today. We got 7 games for picks against the spread. A lot of these games tip off at 4 p.m. Or at 4:10 p.m. So we just got to jump straight into it. I did not realize all the games were early, but it makes sense with the College Basketball National Championship being today. Here are the records. Now, normally there are no NBA games played on the day of the national championship for college basketball, but with this being a condensed season, they just couldn't really afford to do that, so you do have 7 games today. They're just all a bit earlier than normal. So, picks against the spread records. Zach had a really rough Thursday last week. 1 for 7. Everybody else did pretty good. Reese did the best. He's slowly making ground. He still has a chance at getting in this race. Chat is still up there in the lead. Somebody has to knock them off. Eric is at Chat's heels. Eric and Reese, both 14-10 on double downs, looking pretty good there. Trevin has not had any luck with his double downs. He's actually below 500 on them. Let's jump into game number 1. You got Toronto taking on Washington in Tampa Bay. It's the home game for Toronto, and Toronto is favored by 4.
And just some notes real quick. Beal is out. Rui Hachimura is out for the Wizards. And then for the Raptors, Fred VanVleet, Kyle Lowry, Rodney Hood all out as well. And if you haven't seen the Raptors starting lineup tonight, they are starting Gary Trent at point guard, DeAndre Bembry at the 2, with Siakam and OG as the forwards and Boucher up front.
This is a disgusting game. So yeah. Washington has Westbrook, though, right?
Yeah, he's playing tonight.
I mean, I'm going to roll with the points in this one, and Washington has the best player on the floor. Believe it or not, the best player is actually Westbrook for once. So, yeah. Ooh, I got to move this. I didn't even realize that was on the screen. I got to move this off. There we go.
I'm going to take Toronto.
All right.
Oh, wait, I said that about Washington against Detroit the other day, and Detroit mopped the floor with them.
Yeah, a lot of teams today that I don't like picking games for. I'm not looking forward to this. But I don't know. Maybe that means I'll have a good day. Reese is going Toronto.
Maybe you'll be on an island.
I mean, I'm down. Trevin's going Toronto. Westbrook's going Toronto. And Chat. Am I really going to be on an island with this game? Does everybody believe in Point Trent today, or what?
I see a lot of Wizards, though. 8-7 Raptors. Do we need to double check that, or is it?
Can go back and double check as we move on to game 2. If you guys want, but I trust the count. I trust Zach. I'm willing to be on an island with this one. I'm going Wizards. Everybody else seems to be going Raptors. Belgian says that count is correct, so let's move on to game number 2. You got New York taking on Brooklyn. You got the battle for the Big Apple. Brooklyn is a 6-point favorite in this one. Injuries.
The Knicks are without Mitchell Robinson for probably the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
But that was their only significant injury, at least on the report I saw. The Nets, Harden is a go for tonight, it looks like, according to Fantasy Labs. I tried to check that for you, Reese.
Okay, you said Harden and Kyrie? Sorry.
Harden and Kyrie are supposed to play. Shamet, Griffin, Durant are out for the Nets.
I'll take the Nets. The Knicks have hurt me every time I've taken them, so now they're probably going to cover, but...
I'm also taking the Nets.
Or, well, they wouldn't be covering. They'd be the points, but...
Yeah.
All right, Eric going Nets as well. Zach's going Nets.
Reese is on
Reese
Knicks.
wants to go against the grain with the Knicks.
Reese Island.
I did different colors for the Knicks. That's funny.
Benny says the Knicks will win this easy. All right.
Where you been, Ben? Is that Ben Hewitt?
Yeah, Ben Hewitt.
Where you been, Hewitt?
He's been in a couple streams. He donated.
I know, he's come back lately, man. We missed you, bro.
Yeah, for the record, chat, we only count the first 15 votes. So that's why we don't necessarily count all the ones. We just want to cap it at a number where we can count it easily and then also move on to the next game as quickly as possible.
Yep.
Chat's 13-2 Nets.
Okay, and then what was Trevin's?
Trevin was Nets as well, so it's a Reese.
All right, so Reese on an island with the New York Knicks. There we go. I fixed the colors too. Game number 3. Right, yeah, game number 3. You got Utah and you got Dallas in this one. Utah's a 6-point favorite.
Porzingis and Trey Burke are out for the Mavericks. The Jazz, as has been a theme much of the year, have no significant injuries.
Yeah, they've had pretty good injury luck so far this season.
I'm going to take the Jazz in this one.
All right. And there we go. All right.
Zach is taking the Jazz.
I'm also going to take the Jazz.
Reese and Trevin are also on the Jazz.
Alrighty, could have a clean sweep in this one again.
Hopefully, chat doesn't copy all my picks, so I have a chance to make up some ground.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a clean sweep again, but game 1, I was on an island. Game 2, Reese was on an island. Game 3, will chat go on an island?
Doesn't look like it.
Reese, what are you talking about, bro? What do you mean I have a virus?
Someone's saying your computer's making bad noises or something.
No, I accidentally saved the right Knicks logo as the Jazz logo, so then it would have showed Knicks logos if I put up. So I had to fix that and save the Jazz logo on this scene. So it was just making the glong noise, which isn't a bad noise. I don't know. That doesn't mean virus.
Chat's 13-2 Jazz.
Unfortunate. Clean sweep. So me and Reese are bold enough to go out on islands. We'll see if anybody else is bold enough. We'll see if we get some variety here. You got Minnesota taking on Sacramento. Sacramento is a 3.5-point favorite. What are the injuries?
So the Kings only Marvin Bagley's their only significant injury. Timberwolves, D'Angelo Russell is actually making his return tonight. So he is in action. And Malik Beasley is out.
I'm going to take the Kings. The Kings have been playing solid basketball lately.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Timberwolves. So
okay, there's the... I like the boldness. All right.
Kings are another one of those teams where I don't like picking them, but when I don't pick them, they always win, and then when I do pick them...
You've had pretty good luck picking Timberwolves so far this year, though.
Yeah.
From what I can remember.
Yeah.
All right, Reese is going Timberwolves as well. That makes you less confident?
I just wanted an island, but it's all good. It's all good.
I mean, you can go back and take the Mavericks.
Yeah. But I want an island I feel good about.
Halliburton for 50. Chat's Chat hasn't been performing as well as usual, and you got chat saying Halliburton for 50, so I think they're still kind of off right now.
8-7 Kings. Thank you. Gain a gain on chat, that one.
Or lose a game on chat, more likely. Game number 5, you got OKC versus Detroit. Actually, Detroit is a 3-point favorite. OKC, I mean, we kind of know their situation at this point. They're starting I don't know. Have they changed their lineup since we faced them?
No, and all the same guys. Actually, Isaiah Roby is added to the out list along with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Dort, and Baisley, all still out. Pistons are resting Plumlee and Ellington tonight.
I'm still going to take Detroit. They got Jeremy Grant. OKC doesn't have a player close to Jeremy Grant.
Trevin's going OKC. Zach is going Pistons. Reese is going Pistons. I am also going with the Pistons.
All right. Is this going to be a Trevin Island? Not much variety in the picks today.
A bad island at that. I don't know.
14-1 Pistons for chat, so this is likely to be their double down.
Yep.
Game number 6, you got Cleveland taking on San Antonio. San Antonio is a 9-point favorite. Injuries on this one.
Jared Allen, Larry Nance out for the Cavs.
Okay.
For the Spurs, Deontay Murray and Lonnie Walker out.
I hate the spread. So, Cavs have Kevin Love and Sexton and Garland?
Yeah, it looks like they will be out. We'll get to that in a second, Reese. Looks like the Blazers just announced that Nurk is out tomorrow night with right knee soreness.
Oh, Jesus. Yay. Trevin's going Spurs. Zach went Cavs.
Nice to see you too. Peace and love. I like how you took time out of your day to come in here and say that.
Yeah. Glad we own some real estate in your mind. Reese is going Cavs.
Reese. Trevin is Spurs.
What are you going, Eric?
I am going to go with the Spurs have not been playing good, but neither of the Cavs. This is bad. I think I'm just going to go with the points then if I can't decide.
I didn't update the records for this game, by the way. There's always one game. In case anybody was confused. But I'm just testing your guys' knowledge, keeping you on your toes. You know how it is. All right, so you said who?
I'm taking the Cavs just because of the points. Chat was 12-3 Cavs.
I hate this. I'm also going to take the Cavs. Trevin's on another island. Let's go game number 7. You got Phoenix as a 14.5-point favorite over Houston. I hate the spreads today.
Yeah. So Suns don't have a significant injury. Rockets are without John Wall and Daniel House in this one.
I'm taking
and Eric Gordon's of course out too.
I'm taking the Suns.
Okay. I'm actually.
This game is actually in Houston, by the way. I'm messed up a couple of the graphics, but I don't know if it matters to anybody.
I'm actually going to. The Suns have not really. I wouldn't say they haven't blown anyone out, but lately they've been playing kind of down to their competition. So I'm going to take the Rockets and the points.
Wait, chat took Spurs last game? How'd Zach get? Oh, he meant to say Spurs. Okay. So chat took Spurs. It was 12-3 Spurs, not 12-3 Cavs. Game number 7, you said you were taking who? Houston?
Yeah.
Alrighty, cool. It's all good, Zach. You got it fixed, easy. Okay, so Zach's going Suns. This might be your island. You want an island with Houston?
I do not want this island.
Because Trevin's going Suns, and Zach went Suns. And Reese went Suns. Did Paul Pierce really get fired? 12-3 Rockets for chat.
Ooh.
Is that the right team? Because I saw a lot more Suns than Rockets. Zach. Zach did it again. It's 12-3 Suns.
Are you
Poor Zach,
serious?
man. Oh my goodness. Poor Zach. Appreciate you, Zach. Appreciate you doing the work, man. But yeah, I
can't make that up.
I went back and checked. I'm like, I see a lot of Suns, man.
I was gonna
All
say
right.
it. Yeah, I don't know how chat voted that overwhelming.
Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, double downs. Let's get rid of the color mixed graphics. And chat is going with the Pistons, correct? They were 14-1 for Detroit.
Yes.
Okay.
Travis going with the Jazz is his. Playing it safe with the everyone vote for the same team. I'm actually going to take the Nets as mine.
Okay. I'm also going to take the Jazz.
Zach is taking the Suns.
This is the most efficient we've done this. Look at this. We're on a roll. And then Reese is going with the Timberwolves. All right. So that is picks against the spread. Probably the most efficient segment of picks against the spread that we've done. Anyway, there we go. And we will keep you updated tonight. I won't be paying attention to any of these games, really. At least once it's 6:20, for obvious reasons. Anyway, so Nurkic is out tomorrow. Any more details on that report, Reese? Smog is asking for a 5-minute ban, by the way. Mods, if you guys want to, exercise some banning, some timeout powers. But so Nurkic out. Reese hit us with that report. Day to day. Okay, so I don't. Okay, this dude. I don't know. Is he ever going to have a sustained period of health? That's kind of what I'm wondering at this point. Because it's like he comes off a wrist injury and hurts his calf before he even can come off the wrist injury. And then he's dealing with the calf for a couple weeks. Then he comes back and 4 or 5 games in, already sore knee, out tomorrow. I wanted to see what our defense looked like with him in the lineup. So that sucks. Absolutely sucks. Because I felt like this game was going to be a really good gauge for our defense with Nurkic in the lineup. And now he's not in the lineup, so I'm really bummed about that.
Another built-in excuse.
Another built-in excuse.
With the amount of calf injuries this year, not just with Nurkic, with all the other players, and now like just little nagging injuries for people missing games. I still curious what our training staff is doing. Are they just being extremely cautious with all these things? Whereas in years past, they've let players like play through it if they feel fine or what. But yeah, it's definitely not a good thing that he's having so many little injuries. But could just be out for one game. It could just be a precautionary thing. I don't know.
I would start Harry Giles in this game and pressure and trap and come out blitzing because they won't expect that. They won't expect us to blitz. We have enough offense in that starting lineup. We got Norman Powell, we got Dame, we got CJ, right? So I think you come out and hope those guys are hitting shots, which, then Enes Kanter's offensive rebounding wouldn't be as needed or as impactful. And you come out with Giles as starting center and have him blitz and see if he can get a couple open threes and continue his hot shooting from last game. But you just come out and you blitz the pick and roll. That's 100% what I'd do if I was Portland. And if it struggles, then you sub Kanter in early and do what they would normally do. Mm-hmm. That's what I would do.
Yeah, but we know Kanter will be starting. So
Kanter will be starting.
I just hope Giles gets a chance to play. We talked about this after last game. Give him a legit shot. Give him 20 minutes in this game and see if he can translate some of that stuff. Use him in a way that's like towards his skill set and let him trap a little bit. Let him play up on some of these guys. If he looks lost or whatever, then you have it on film saying, look, we tried playing him in this situation and it didn't work out. But I just don't like leaving a guy on the bench like that without seeing what he could do with minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, are they missing Baca tonight or tomorrow?
He's been out lately. Let me check.
Because if it's Zubac starting, that's a better matchup for Kanter, fits Kanter more. But if it's Ibaka, Harry Giles is much better equipped to guard Ibaka. Tyler Cornwell says Ibaka and Pat Bev are out. I'll let you confirm that. But, I mean, so it's likely a starting lineup with Zubac. They're big off the bench. I don't even know who that would be. Their center off the bench. Who's their third string center?
Well, they just signed Cousins to a 10-day.
Do you think he's going to play?
I don't know. I never know with how that's going.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see them being ruled out of a game, last Tuesday's game. I don't see anything about this Tuesday, at least on the sites I'm looking on.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're I don't know, they're probably questionable. I haven't seen an exact injury report for them though.
Yep. You know what's crazy is Nurkic is dealing with knee inflammation when he's been on a minutes restriction. That's another part of that I don't like. He's been on a minutes restriction. It's not like he came out here and we started playing him 30 minutes a game and then, it showed why we had him on a minutes restriction. We were playing him 19, 20 minutes a game, and now he's dealing with knee inflammation. That's scary. I don't like that. I don't feel good about that, man.
Well, I mean, if you have a sore knee, it could flare up whether you're playing 19 minutes or 35 minutes.
Yeah, but it's just like, I don't know. I'm starting to become worried that it's going to be, this is going to constantly be the case for him. And I don't know. I mean, maybe not. Hopefully not. But, I mean, it's hard not to be like worried that that's going to be the case for him going forward.
Yeah.
Um,
But the thing is, like, the season, he played pretty much. He got hurt at the end of his first, whatever Nurk fever run after we traded for him. But that whole next season, I think he only missed a game or two that season, if I'm not mistaken. And then the following season, I'm pretty sure he played almost every game up until breaking his leg, which was near the end of the season. So that was like almost 2 full seasons of not being injured. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but then it's broken leg, broken leg, and then didn't he have like a calf issue when he was trying to come off of the broken leg?
Yeah, both injuries, recent big ones. He's had a calf injury.
Yeah, so broken leg, calf injury, broken wrist, calf injury, knee inflammation. And that's in the course of less than a year, basically. Or about a year. I don't know. That's a lot. Hopefully it doesn't continue at that rate. I just can't feel good about that. But hopefully it's nothing serious. Hopefully he can get back. I don't know, man. Hopefully he can find some sort of health because he hasn't had good luck yet. But, I mean, this Blazers team still has a chance to beat the Clippers tomorrow. And it's still a very huge game. It's not a game that we should go in with any sort of defeatist mentality where, we don't have Nurkic. It's the Clippers, Hopefully we can win, but it's okay if we don't. No, go out and get this game. Go out and win this game. You're going up against a team that's in third place in the West, but you're only a couple games behind right now. So you go out and win this game and you'll be knocking on the doorstep of a 3 seed. Now, they'll still be like in 6th. There's just a bunch of teams bunched up, but you got to win these games against some Western Conference playoff teams if you want a chance at home court advantage. And you have to win these games no matter who you have out there on the court. Now, if you don't have Dame, don't have CJ, I would give them no chance for winning this game. But you got Dame, you got CJ, you got Norman Powell, you got Rocco, who's been playing great, you got Enes Kanter. They still have the talent to win this game. Like, there's no question about that. It just comes down to how they defend, most likely. Can they play a lick of defense against this Clippers team? Because if they can, I could see them winning this game. I could also see them giving up 135 points and losing by 20.
Yeah, so it's not like the Clippers are playing well either. It's like they haven't been unstoppable or anything. So this isn't like a game you can't win. I mean, heck, didn't they lose to the Magic a few games ago?
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I don't think this is, like, I don't know. I'm just hoping he just had a little knee soreness and they were like, oh, we'll just sit him out. And then they're just trying to be cautious with him because they don't want it to. And I still feel like, I don't know. I'm gonna give it. I'm not gonna overreact, and I think we could still win this game. I hope we come and compete and don't get blown out of the gym and don't see all the injury excuses. But yeah, it's kind of too late to do much about it right now, other than hope that Giles starts playing well. There's not really a lot we can do other than I guess we could sign someone to our other roster spot if Nurk goes down, but our season overall, I think, is in a lot of trouble if Nurk goes down again. But
yep, I just don't want
short term. I don't think it's
and I don't want the front office to use injuries as an excuse for maybe us losing the first round. I don't want a built-in excuse. I want to be healthy and see where the season goes. And if we lose in the first round with a healthy roster, Stotts should get fired. And then we move on. But, obviously if we're injured, that maybe complicates the decision. Regardless, I mean, the defense has to improve if we have Nurkic or not. Because even with Kanter in the lineup, there's no reason we should be the second or third worst defense in NBA history. Mm-hmm. That's just the truth. And a lot of people will have you believe that, our personnel is the worst defensive personnel in the history of the league, but I think CJ's played okay defense this year. Not good, but okay, which is good for CJ. And you got Norman Powell, who's a good defender. You got Rocco, who's a great defender. You got Derrick Jones Jr., who's a good defender. You got guys that can play defense. You got some guys that struggle defensively, but you got guys that can defend. It's a pretty mixed bag without Nurkic. It's still kind of a mixed bag. You got some good defenders, you got some bad defenders. It shouldn't be 29th in the league defensively. We should be better than that.
Yeah, just a side note, Derek Jones Jr. I think is still listed as questionable for tomorrow night, but he got upgraded to probable, actually. Okay. So they're expecting him to play, but there's still a chance he might sit out as well.
I mean, even then, Nas takes his minutes, and Nas is an adequate defender.
Yeah. But that's what I'm talking about, though. Like, Nas has missed a few games for, like, random injuries this year. Derek Jones has missed several games with injuries just randomly.
Anthony
has. Hood had when he was still here. Trent missed a few games with a calf injury. You know, like, I don't know. It's just I'm just curious why this is. Is it just the fact that they're not practicing very hard, and then when they get to game action, it's like I don't know.
Yep. Let's talk about TJ Leaf and Rondae Hollis-Jefferson. Rondae Hollis-Jefferson got signed to a 10-day contract, which you called. TJ Leaf got signed to a 2-way contract. I've seen a lot of questions about this. Let's address them.
Let me just say the 10-day contract. So we had 14 days after the trade to sign someone to that 14th spot on the roster. So signing someone to a 10-day contract, what that does is just push those 14 days into 24 days, basically. So I don't know when he's going to be available. I don't even know if we've officially signed these guys yet or if we're waiting till tomorrow so it's a game day to have him start his 10 days or whatever. But this is probably just a mini tryout both for Rondae Hollis-Jefferson and then also biding some time until we see who all is left after the buyout markets kind of die down. But we also found out today that this Friday, the 9th, is the last day for a player to have to be on a roster in order to be playoff eligible. So if we're going to sign someone, it pretty much has to be by Friday, I think.
Yeah, that's weird. It complicates things. I feel like Rondae Hollis-Jefferson will likely end up on a normal roster spot.
Yeah.
That's the most likely situation. But I don't think Rondae Hollis-Jefferson will play. And TJ Leaf will definitely not play. TJ Leaf will be like a big man version of CJ Ellaby in terms of playing time and role.
Yeah. Plus he sucks.
Yeah, like he's not going to play. Unless, like, the only reason he's going to play is if we get super injured. Yeah. You know, CJ Ellaby had to play a game against Philadelphia when we had, like, Dame and CJ out. Mm-hmm. And Anthony was on a minutes restriction. So CJ Ellaby played. And actually played good in that Philly game. You know, that's the only way TJ Leaf plays is if, like, Nurkic is hurt, Cantor is hurt, and, like, a forward is hurt, and maybe Giles is hurt. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only way he's going to play. So, like, a lot of people are asking questions about him. It's just, like, I don't even, like, it's irrelevant signing. It's nice to have that. There's no reason not to sign him. Like, he's trash. Like, he's not a good NBA player whatsoever. So, like, I don't know. I felt like there was a couple of bigs out there that maybe we could have gotten with our two-way contract that would have been a little bit better. Amari Spellman is kind of the top target there that I had in mind for a two-way contract, but
especially if we're just looking at Leaf as a shooter, Spellman's probably a better shooter than him.
Better at everything than him, but he's just not going to play. So, like, all the questions about TJ Leaf is just like, meh. You know, like, I don't care to answer. And as far as Rondae Hollis-Jefferson, everybody's saying, oh, I wish he was available. It's like he probably wouldn't play anyways, even if he was. So I don't think that signing is relevant. I don't think he's going to end up earning a role on this team. We have good forwards. We have forwards that can do what he does. Now, I think he's being signed in case, you know, like a Rocco gets hurt and we need a defensive stopper. You know, because maybe Rocco's hurt, or if Derek Jones Jr. is hurt, maybe he gets a chance over Nas. But in this situation, I don't think, like, if healthy, Rondae Hollis-Jefferson is going to play either.
Yeah, I agree with that. I have seen some promising, like, things from Rondae Hollis-Jefferson in his year in Toronto, but as we're seeing with Trent, we don't play the same way on defense that Toronto plays, so I think some of those skills would be less effective on a team like ours. So yeah, I mean, if we need stops or we're just like having a horrendous defense game, I guess throw him in there to maybe try and get some stops. But other than that, I don't. I agree with you that I don't see him playing much. And Tyler was asking if we still have a third two-way spot. There was some talk about that about a month or so ago about them adding a third two-way spot, but I don't think they actually passed it. I think that just kind of went away as the season went on, and there was becoming less and less, COVID issues from teams.
When was the last time we had a game postponed?
I think it's been since the Spurs had a bunch right before the All-Star break.
I wonder if that's going to be a thing at all for the rest of the season. Like if there's going to be another game that gets postponed.
The report last week, there was only one player that tested positive. So
I mean, you have to wonder if like it's a product of enough players have gotten it where they have immunity to it because they've had the virus. Like that could be part of it, but like you have players getting vaccines now. The majority of the Blazers have gotten their first shot. Same thing with the Pelicans and probably other franchises. We might not have heard of it, but going forward, you're going to have players vaccinated too. So I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't another canceled game for the rest of the season.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about this. There's been no news on this, but you have Moda Center putting up social distancing spots in like lines and hand sanitizer stations inside the arena. And there was something else. I forget what it was. It was like
the concession stands they had.
Yeah. What were you saying?
The concession stands, they had stuff set up to socially distance at.
Yeah, that's what I just said. But I think there was something with tickets, like a way to like prove that you had a negative test or a vaccine in like their ticket app or something. So basically, all that says is fans are going to come back at some point this season to Moda Center for games. Now, we don't know what that looks like, but why would they be doing that if they didn't have some sort of plan to bring fans back? In most stadiums around the country, as the country gets more vaccinated, hopefully cases can go down a little bit as well, can decline along with that. There is a correlation there as we get enough people vaccinated. Pretty much all arenas are being reopened at limited capacity. We've seen it done with multiple stadiums so far, stadiums in Texas, stadiums in Florida, New Orleans. So I expect there to be it would be very limited capacity, but I would assume they're doing that stuff for a reason.
Yeah. I think they had somewhere like 1,500 people they invited to last game. Like some media that they hadn't invited all year. Several, I don't know how to put it, like friends and family, but not just, family was already coming to the game, but there was some extra people there just to kind of test that out a little bit.
Yep. The average Joe is not going to be able to get tickets though, unlimited capacity, because I feel like it's going to be for long-time season ticket holders, and then if there's anything left over, the price is going to be insane because it's limited supply. So I'm not expecting myself to go to a game. But yeah, and we'll see as, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see as we get into playoffs how much like capacity restrictions loosen. Obviously, we get further and further into this vaccination drive, so it'll be interesting to watch that play out. I'm not predicting anything because I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see on that.
Brian Scott Arena says the Texas Rangers had a full stadium for their baseball game.
Couldn't the MLB say no, you're not allowed to have a full stadium?
I think they basically just left it up to the teams.
See, I feel like the NBA wouldn't allow that, because I haven't seen that at Dallas Mavericks games, or Houston Rockets games, and Texas has just kind of said, thrown everything to the wayside.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't seen that at NBA stadiums, so I feel like the NBA would be like, no, we're not doing that. The NBA is smarter than the MLB, just in general. So, or maybe the teams themselves are a little bit smarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it should be interesting. It's also like I don't know what they're gonna do. Like, what if someone? Because this is a possibility. Because you're starting to see a very small percentage of people who are vaccinated, get test positive still, which is not like anything to be alarmed of. That's part of the vaccine process. It's not 100%. So, but like. It'd be interesting if someone who has been fully vaccinated tests positive, how they would treat that compared to like someone who wasn't vaccinated, in terms of like players or something missing games or canceling games or whatever. Like if there was a COVID outbreak within the Blazers, but they've all been vaccinated or something, is that something they would cancel a bunch of games with, or they treat it a little differently?
I mean, from what I've heard is like there's no like quarantining period for fully vaccinated players if they've been exposed to somebody in the virus. There's no like period where they have to quarantine or not play because they're vaccinated. And yeah, so but there's likely, I don't know. There likely wouldn't be an outbreak on the Blazers. Yeah. If they're fully vaccinated. You know what I mean?
I know, yeah. I was just saying it'd be interesting to see how they would handle that versus the normal thing. Like you said, the chances of that happening are very slim, but...
Yeah, but I mean, as we get into May, and it's available to everyone, like, people around the players are likely... I mean, not everybody, some people don't want to get vaccinated, but you'll have more people just around players as well who they would otherwise get the virus from that are becoming vaccinated, where they wouldn't have to they wouldn't be exposed, and they wouldn't be it basically just cuts community transmission, and that will be a benefit for us. That will be a benefit for NBA players. That will be a benefit for everyone. So it'd be something we'd have to think about or worry about in regards to sports less and less. It'll just be interesting to see how the stadium capacity in certain areas follow that along as we get into the playoffs. So be nice to have some fans in the stands for playoffs though. More of a playoff atmosphere than we had in the bubble. The bubble was cool. It's kind of like a one-off. If we had to do that again, it'd just be like ugh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because it was just like we were without basketball, we were without sports for so long, and then we come back and it's like this cool like bubble and whatnot, and it's just like a one-off thing, and like that was I don't know, kind of dope, But doing it again wouldn't have the same like anywhere near the same appeal. I feel like just because we've had sports, we've had basketball. Sports have been pretty normal for the past, I don't know, 6, 7 months, 8 months since the NFL season started, at least. Sure, you have to cancel games here and there, but for the most part, sports are pretty normal. You can turn on the TV and you can find any sport. So, I forgot. I lost my train of thought. Basically, it's just, I don't know, doing a bubble again or doing something like that or having empty stadiums wouldn't have the same appeal as it did like last summer. So hopefully we're able to get some fans in stands for the playoffs safely, of course, and we can have some sort of a playoff atmosphere there. Something like, the Final Four has a bit of an atmosphere, It's weird how it's only being played on one side of the stadium, but at least you got some, crowd noise and whatnot, and, feel how you may about if it's safe for them to reopen at such and such capacity. That's a debate not for this platform, but it's cool to have, a bit of an atmosphere there, because that's kind of what makes it what it is for, like, the Final Four and for the playoffs.
Yeah. Speaking of that atmosphere, what are your thoughts right now? As we're an hour and a half away.
I am using this stream to not think about that game because I'm extremely nervous and I want to know what it feels like for one of my favorite teams to win a championship. And Gonzaga has gone from mid-major like David, and now they're a Goliath. Now they're getting top recruits. Jalen Suggs was the top recruit in program history. It's like, oh, we finally get a 5-star recruit, and what does he do? He hits a almost half court buzzer beater in the Final Four. Like, I don't know. It would just suck if this whole entire journey and them being undefeated and that shot against UCLA just ended in a loss tonight. So, yeah, I'm very nervous.
So, this is some interesting news. James Harden left the game and will not return with a right hamstring issue.
Who doubled down on the Nets?
Me, like a dumbass. But no, that's so during the OKC game, we're up 40 in the third quarter. I'm posting "Get Dame out of there," right? And I have all these people like tell me that no, he has to keep playing to pad his MVP stats. It's like,
my goodness.
It's so dumb. Like, okay, but if he gets hurt, like that ruins his MVP chances, right?
And our entire season.
Season. But then they're like, oh, so why don't you just not play him at all then if he has a chance to get hurt? It's like, well, okay, that's not even what we're saying. This game is out of control. This particular situation, I think you mentioned, right? And then, so tonight, Harden's line, 0 points, 1 rebound, 3 assists, 0 for 1 from the field in 4 minutes. So for all those people who care about the MVP and that at all, that'll ruin or hurt his numbers overall having a game like that. Because it counts even though he's only played 4 minutes. It'll count for his overall state.
I mean, well, the minutes per game, look, that's the thing. Where, like, if somebody's averaging 25, 5, and 5 in 30 minutes a game, it's more impressive than if somebody's averaging 25, 5, and 5 in 36 minutes per game. Right. So you gotta look at that's why I use per 36 minutes. Because it, like, evens out, like, the minutes differential, right? So, like, in terms of per game stats, Harden's going to take a major hit tonight because he basically only played 4 minutes. But in terms of like per 36 minute stats, it only counts as 4 minutes, so it's not going to have like an impact on that. So like some people are just like, oh, you can't use per 36 minute stats. Some people seem to think that like people use per 36 minute stats to say, oh, this is exactly what this player would average if he was playing 36 minutes when it's like a bench player playing 16. It's like, obviously, if you're a bigger part of the game plan, you're going to be game planned for more. Your statistics are going to suffer. You're going to be more fatigued because you're playing more minutes. Obviously, you're like, I don't use per 36 minutes for that reason. I use it for a reason like that, whereas if a player is playing 31 minutes and a player is playing 36 minutes, right, I want to see their production without a minutes differential. Mm-hmm. I want to see their production compared to each other on like a per minute basis. So per 36 minutes takes out that minutes differential. And if somebody's playing 30 minutes, their production probably isn't going to change if they play another 6. Whereas like for a bench player who, if you double their minutes from 18 to 36 and take them from a bench role to a starting role, like that completely changes everything. So that's like the use for per 36 minute stats.
Yep. Oh, Belgian with I saw that earlier today. So Rocco is probably going to have surgery on his nose in the off season. It's still broken.
Yikes.
But he's been playing with that since that happened. Yeah. Not
good. Yeah, so shout out Shervins for rooting for Gonzaga for me. You're the one, man. XC Depp says, if Mark Few leaves the Zags, is the program any good? I feel like he's going to get new interest from the NBA this offseason. Tommy Lloyd is the heir to the throne and one of the best assistant coaches. Tommy Lloyd would be able to, he's not Mark Few, but he'd be able to keep the ball rolling. I mean, Gonzaga's established now. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's any question of would they fall off the map? Like, what they are doesn't hinge on, like, solely on Mark Few. But Mark Few isn't going to leave either, because he's had chances to leave for much bigger programs, for probably an NBA team. He hasn't done it. And why would he? He's extremely comfortable where he's at. He's kind of like a quiet guy off the court, like a guy enjoys nature and that type of stuff. Like, he would not want he's so comfortable there, he would not want to go to an NBA team. I would be shocked if he goes to the NBA team. He gets paid very well for what he does for Gonzaga. Like, they've taken care of him. I don't see that happening.
Chiefin is rooting against you tonight.
Yeah,
Par for the course for Chiefin.
Yeah, I don't like Chiefin because for that reason. You know what? I want to put him in a 5-minute timeout just because Chiefin, man. I mean, Mark Few would be great as an NBA coach, in my opinion. I don't want him coming to Portland, even though he'd be great for Portland. I don't want to take away from one of my teams to give to another one of my teams. I just want my NBA team to hire a good coach, and for my college team to keep a great coach. That's all I want. That's the best of both. Yeah. So, I don't know. Mini Tooth, I don't believe that your cousin is Jalen Suggs. I don't believe that. I'm going to need proof on that. Terry Stotts on the Zags? No, thank you. Ugh. Terry Stotts would be a better college coach than NBA coach, though.
Tyler, I'm assuming that's a joke. It's funny, but you're going to confuse people.
Portland needs a G League affiliate in general.
Yeah.
Did I go to a Gonzaga? No. But my grandfather was a Gonzaga fan, and I got into Gonzaga basketball when I was like 8, 9 years old watching Adam Morrison. So it's like a very nostalgic thing for me. Yeah, so it's like a family thing. But yeah, so hopefully I'm in a good mood later tonight, man. I'll either be on top of the freaking world or I'll be extremely depressed. I want them to win this game as much as I've ever wanted the Blazers to win a game. So I'm nervous. I don't even want to think about it. I want to take my mind off it for the next hour or so. Anything left that you want to talk
Jalen
about?
Horde signed a 2-way with Oklahoma City.
Oh, yep, Jalen Horde. Trevin, all my teams have never seen a championship in my lifetime, bro. The Mariners, the Niners, the Blazers, Gonzaga. Yeah, but XCW, yeah, that radio call was dope to hear against UCLA because I remember that game as a child. Like when they blew it against UCLA. That's tragic. But yeah, Jalen Horde signed with OKC. He was with them in training camp.
Mm-hmm.
Pinwheel Empire had a really corny tweet about it. Not much else to note on it.
Actually, honestly, for Horde, seems like a good guy. I hope he eventually latches on with the team, but can't think of a better situation right now for young guys to possibly get some minutes this year for the rest of the season than OKC right now, because they seem to be wanting to play anyone who is young and has even a little bit of promise.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe they can do with him what they've done with Moses Brown. That would be cool. He'll likely get chances to play. I mean, OKC is absolutely tanking right now. They've already won 20 games. They should have started tanking sooner.
They cut Justin Jackson.
Yeah.
And
he wouldn't have been a bad guy for a two-way. Actually, he can't be on a two-way. Never mind.
Yeah, this is his fourth season and he played, so yeah.
Yeah.
Toasty, happy birthday tomorrow. Hope the Blazers win for you.
Yep. Rest in peace to your phone tonight. If you have my tweet notifications on, Rest in peace to your phone tonight. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
Nope.
Alrighty. Well, that's going to wrap up this stream. We'll be live again tomorrow. Follow me on Twitter at ToryJonesYT. Eric is at HoopsJock. I assume most of you in here that have a Twitter already do follow us. But, be tuned for some fireworks tonight on my Twitter. We'll see if I need this. Anyway, we'll see you guys live tomorrow with the post-game stream after this Clippers game. The Blazers will be going into that game without Yusuf Nurkic, but hopefully they can still get things done. I don't know. All this Gonzaga talk has me like completely scrambled. Like my brain's just completely scrambled right now. So, are we playing Among Us? Yeah, right now, Ben. You should too, bro. Where have you been? Our normal lobby times, man. We need more people right now. And the new map is dope, so you should hop on tonight. Anyway, that's gonna wrap up the stream. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a good rest of your day, and we will see you again tomorrow. Until then, as always, peace out. Go Blazers.